when we understand the pulse of our people, we are in service of our people. And I saw it today. I realized just how immeasurably grateful we were for the services of Forever Family and the South London School Patrol. So I just want to shout out Sister Bex, who came from the South London School Patrol. Thank you for coming down today. It was appreciated. The solidarity and the desire to be involved in a London-wide initiative, but more importantly, with a Schools to Industry pipeline, a national initiative. I want to thank Raspek and Forever Family coming down today to share with us the intelligence that they gained from being operational on the ground. In number one, being to find out exactly who has been attempting to kidnap our children. They have actually spoken with a kidnapper and dealt with the process in their own way, as our patrol, who are unpaid, dedicated, and consistent. So to put what Forever Family do in context, Forever Family patrol areas where we are in high population, where there may have been instances of serious youth violence. They don't serve exclusively our children. They protect young people based on the respect that they have. Young people give up their knives. So by sharing values that we have with our young men, we start to close this intergenerational gap. Adpack's role is to empower the organizations on the ground, those strategic delivery partners, those advocates who are thinking and working and operating at all levels, the professionals who have specific expertise in a particular area, like tech, that we'll get to at the end of the broadcast. But today, we managed to execute the first component of what hopefully Adpack will be able to demonstrate from here on in for all of our organizations nationally. And it is this sequence of activity that must come together for a campaign to work in its totality effectively for and on our behalf. So what today's component was about was merely demonstrating to our entire family in London, but more importantly nationally, that we have the inalienable right to gather. There were about 80 of us in front of the mayor's office who came from a number of organizational backgrounds, and I'll get into that as well. But more importantly, it was about showing the solidarity and the unity that we can come under one banner for one target, which was to hold the mayor accountable and the mayor in his role in coordinating the activities of the Metropolitan Police. So the videos that were recorded and the speeches that happened today are about placing them within the context of those sequence of events to win our hearts and minds and align us nationally under one banner for one cause. No dissent. We're all delivery partners. And like the saying goes, we all do our thing a little way different with a slight nuance. There is no competition in civic activity. You are all merely serving the same 3 million population. Now, if that 3 million population turned around and said, we want you to serve, there's no organization that has the capacity individually to serve the needs of the 3 million UK population, never mind the 2 million London population. So we have all the will in the world, but we don't have the resources and we don't have the structure yet, which I will also come to at the end of the broadcast. So we were blessed to have Stephen Brown from Stop Killing Our Children on the Street, who spoke very eloquently about county lines. Now, this very specifically is where we take responsibility for the monsters we have raised ourselves, who are enticing our children, seducing our children, sexually exploiting them, and also exploiting them to sell drugs on county lines. Now, this has been a litmus test for Eastern European gangs, who, little beknownst to the vast majority of people, have been behind our criminal underclass, supplying them with drugs and supplying them with weapons, all the while watching and understanding that police haven't really cared when our children have gone missing. There's no Madeleine McCann scenario. There's no 11 million being spent on 11 of our children, never mind on one. 2, what has been the temperature of African Caribbean men as the most vulnerable and valuable assets of our community are susceptible to kidnapping? It's been very little accountability, right? So what would you assess as an outsider looking inside our community? Knowing you would kidnap any child, but why not go for the low-hanging fruit and the easiest with no comeback? Well, that was the thought anyway, because without Forever Family being steadfast and consistently making noise about this, we wouldn't have this London-wide attention or the national attention that we're going to have in 30 seconds. Now, these people have been identified. There is an intelligence, which is their connectivity through their security protocols, which is a phone tree throughout London, which identifies people very quickly, and soldiers are everywhere. So we must understand as an African Caribbean people that we need all components of our community to work in coordination as a body complete. If we think about the heart, lungs, liver, spleen, brain, none of them work in isolation. You couldn't take out my heart and put it in a jar and it'd work, because it wouldn't. Without my brain, there's no cognizance of what is going on. So the brain becomes the cloud-based communication project management app that we are building now. The heart is the spirit of the people in the community, which we require, because there has to be an agreement that the community is going to be served by a particular institution at a national level, which is a very serious responsibility for people whom I call custodians. Make no mistake about who custodians are or what their role is. It is a very trusted position for men and women who cannot be bought, who have a more important loyalty and understanding of their communities. See, now as we start to formalize operations, we circumvent the conditions that create a Kemi Badenoch, a Tony Salt, a Sean Bailey, you name them, Trevor Phillips. They didn't start out that way. We lost them because we do not socially or economically reward our warrior class or those who serve our interests diligently, and it wears you down. This is why I salute the commitment of Forever Family, and I call on their fundraising. So please go to Instagram over the weekend on Forever Family's Instagram and donate. If you donate £2, if you donate £5, if you can donate £10, and God bless, you can donate £20. So these young men and women can travel, eat lunch, and get around the city that they are protecting. They are stopping murders by taking weapons away from children and acting off intelligence, which is very different to racial profiling. So please donate, because £1,002 make £2,000, which they haven't had operating for a week. Now, what are we capable of?